Crunchyroll was forced to respond after the controversy they put themselves into 10 days ago. For those that are completely unaware of what Crunchyroll did or has not been paying attention to it because there's just a lot that's been going on, basically about 10 days ago there was a post made on r/anime and various other places on the internet where people were talking about the sudden downgrade of Crunchyroll subtitles and typesetting, and to show a brief comparison to what we have now to what we used to have, let me show you. So this was what the anime season, this new anime season started with the subtitles. And at first glance, it's like, okay, it's just subtitles. But then you look at, like, the original subtitles, you can see that the subtitles were a lot more bold, easier to see and read. It looked a lot better, and it didn't blend as badly with the background, because it's very hard to read these subtitles, especially depending on what's going on screen. But it doesn't just stop there. There was a noticeable lack of typesetting and translation. For instance, like, this is like a conversation in Japanese, and Crunchyroll just didn't even, like, translate it. They only translate maybe the first or last part of it, and they don't translate anything in the middle, and people were getting legitimately upset because important info was completely being missed in these new episodes, and it caused a lot of stir, a lot of controversy, and it blew up on social media. And this, in turn, caused a lot of content creators, such as myself, and content creators that even actively work with Crunchyroll, to start calling them out for this, for the noticeable downgrade of subtitles and their potential or alleged leak that they changed their software subtitle system to another software subtitling system that is more streamlined or mainstream, equivalent to what Netflix currently uses. More on that in a moment. But the point is that Crunchyroll caused a lot of people to be upset because it wasn't no longer just something that was, like, isolated to one specific series. Because for those that are unaware of this, or has been aware, Crunchyroll is very well known. There's a history, a pattern, so to speak, to where they will mess up an episode release. Either the subtitles are delayed for a few hours and the episode's out on their site, or the subtitles are completely inaccurate, or they'll release an episode with subtitles that are from a completely different anime, and it will be like that for like an entire day. It is really terrible. They have had poor quality control for a very long time. I have made multiple videos talking about this. I talked about this when, like, for instance, ReZero Season 3 was airing, just how poor quality some of their subtitles were. But the point is that Crunchyroll, their issues with subtitles and typesetting seems to have been more of a widespread thing recently, and it became so bad that it no longer could necessarily be ignored, because it was affecting fundamentally every series that they were releasing for this anime season. And then that's not even including, like, for instance, the entire delay of multiple different anime that aired for this season. My Hero Academia's final season's first episode is a very good example at that. For instance, the episode aired early in the morning, and within like an hour, the episode was out on pirate sites, but on Crunchyroll site, they did not have it literally until, like, pretty much working till the next day, or later that very same day, while it was out on pirate sites to read with subtitles and everything within the hour of it airing. You could see the problem there, fundamentally, like people paying for a service that's just not even functioning. That's not even getting into, like I said, the subtitles, the translations, the typesetting, anything else in between. That was just an inherent problem. So, we get into how they were forced to respond. So, this is an article that came out yesterday, and let's just get into this, let's read this and see what Crunchyroll had to say for the colossal failure that they did at the beginning of the season. So, Crunchyroll cites eternal system problems regarding subtitles for fall 2025 anime. Some of Crunchyroll's subtitles for new anime from the fall 2025 season have changed in terms of typesetting, font, size. Continuing anime do not appear to be affected. ANN reached out to Crunchyroll regarding the subtitles, and a spokesperson responded with the following statement, aka the PR team of Crunchyroll. Wild, because Crunchyroll usually doesn't do PR. They don't usually talk. So, it's crazy they even have a PR manager or team when they're always radio silent when there is any problems whatsoever. But anyways, let's continue. This is what Crunchyroll said. Over the past few days, some users experienced delays in accessing the content they wanted and subtitle issues across certain series. These were caused by internal system problems, not by any change in how we create subtitles, use of new vendors, or AI. Those eternal issues have now been fully resolved. Quality subtitles are a core part of what makes watching anime on Crunchyroll so special. They connect global fans to the heart of every story, and we take that responsibility seriously. Thank you for your patience. We've committed to continuing to deliver the authentic quality and care that fans deserve. Even though they don't want to hear what fans have to say by turning off comments and not being able to really talk anymore about episodes, yeah, they definitely care about their fans or want to hear what you have to say. But anyways, this is what the article continues to say. Many people on social media had speculated in the last week that Crunchyroll had switched from Sub to Israel-based OONNA for subtitles starting with the fall 2025 anime season. ANNA asked Crunchyroll about whether the company previously used Aegis Sub switched to OONA, but the company only gave ANN the above statement from the company's spokesperson. It did not comment on what subtitle program it has used in the past or is currently using. The company recently announced the titles and yada yada yada. This is just, old stuff. So, let's get into Crunchyroll's statement and what they straight up tell everybody to know. They say directly that it was internal system problems. This is PR speak, obviously. It's so much PR speak. It's so vague. You can't even get an idea of exactly what happened because of just the wording itself. You can clearly see whoever wrote this up is very good with PR. It's corporate speak that doesn't want to tell you actually what happened. But anyways, they also comment that there was not any change in how they create subtitles, use of new vendors, or AI. Those internal issues have now been fully resolved, which I would have to check every single episode that aired for this season and go back and check just to see if this is true or not. But the point of the matter is they directly deny the allegation of changing their software from Aegis Sub to the Israel-based OONA for subtitles. Now, they also deny new vendors or AI. So they pretty much say, no, they did not change their software, no, they did not use AI, and no, they did not have new vendors give them subtitles or anything like that. So the question is, what happened? That is the big question. And here's something that actually this article does point out. Crunchyroll laid off a number of employees in August of this year. In addition, some employees expanded their scope and others got new role assignments. Crunchyroll has also revealed plans to build engineering hubs in the United States, Mexico, and India to spark innovation and fuel transformation. So I think the beginning of this is very important. They laid off a bunch of employees in August. It is currently October. The new anime season began this October 1st, 2025. And there has been some issues here and there that happened, like back in July, there were some issues with subtitles and stuff that was done by ChatGPT, you might remember that. I think in general, is this an issue with maybe them laying off employees and this caused a subtitle eternal issue? Potentially. However, I do think that Crunchyroll being very vague about the internal system problems makes me believe that they're outright lying about changing their systems from something like Aegis Sub to the Israel-based ONA subtitle system. I really do think that they're probably lying about that. I mean, this is a company, like I said, that silences people. They don't want to hear what you have to say. They have been caught lying in the past for many different things. I mean, they were opening up literally fan mail for people in the past, doing a lot of stuff that's just questionable or messed up. So when you take a hard look at this, I don't believe this for a second. I do believe that maybe there was internal system problems, but I don't believe that this is all true. I think that there's just a lot of lies. They're trying to shrug it off because obviously if they admitted they changed their software after firing a bunch of people and then you accompany it with a system that has AI a part of its tools and tasks, it's just going to give them a lot of heat. And I don't think Crunchyroll really wants that. So why would a company want to admit that they are using software that would be considered controversial on social media? Obviously, I don't give a crap what software they use. I'm going to be completely blunt. All I truly care about is if the subtitles and typesetting is good. I'm just going to keep it real. That might be a hot take. People might be upset for me saying that, not caring if it's Israel-based or not. But I think all I care about as someone that watches anime, that goes to a site to watch anime, if I had to, is I want the subtitles to be good. I want them to be accurate. I don't want, like, propaganda or anything put in them. I just want it to be a straight-up translation from the manga or from what the Japanese are saying. That's what I want. That's all I want, and I want it to be readable, obviously. And so when you downgrade your translation translations, your subtitles, your typesetting. Fundamentally, you're hurting the entire product, because at the end of the day, one of the big reasons why people even use Crunchyroll or buy their service is to be able to watch anime with English subtitles. And if they can't do their job right, what's the point in using Crunchyroll? That's literally their main job. So you can get the idea of why this is such a bad thing. And it also makes sense why they wouldn't want to admit this, because obviously if they admit it, it's a lot of bad press, a lot of bad PR. But I do think in general they probably did change their software, because it makes a lot of sense. I mean, if a bunch of other companies like Netflix, for instance, and Disney are using the OONA for like subtitling, it makes sense Crunchyroll do it. With how mainstream anime has gotten, how anime is kind of shared with Netflix sometimes or Disney, it makes sense that Crunchyroll will probably use the same software to make it easier to distribute the episodes between each other's services. That's my educated guess. Now, once again, this could be also, maybe it was a rogue employee doing something really bad and it caused a lot of issues. Who really knows? Will we ever get the true story? Probably not. But the point of the matter is Crunchyroll is known liars. They have lied in the past many times. So, do I believe this? No, I don't. But, yeah, so Crunchyroll actually can respond. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? All it would take is the collective, entire anime community to be upset to get them to respond. Go figure. Anyways, I'll leave it at that. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this? Do you think they're lying? Do you think they're telling the truth? Do you think it's mixed? Be honest in the comments below. But I love you guys. Please subscribe if you want more of my content. Leave a like on the video, helps me out. And leave a comment too, helps with the algorithm. But, Chibi out.